by this gword.jm, which uses this D3 visualization word cloud code. So this pulls in all my data, and then this is just some JavaScript that draws the picture in on the page. Okay, and so the easy part now is to just open gword.htm in a browser. It just so happens on a Mac I can do this, and so that gives me a word cloud based on that data. It kind of randomizes it and shows different stuff, but it's using this. Oops, it's using this data to generate how big those things are, and then using a bit of randomness and simulated annealing to lay it out. That's not stuff that we actually have to worry about. Okay, so that's how we get to the point where we're seeing a word cloud from this. Now we're going to do another visualization, and this time we're going to do a line visualization, and we're going to create a thing called gline.js and produce with another HTML file. We're going to use D3 and produce that output. So let's say goodbye here, goodbye, 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 goodbye. So gline.py, get rid of that file. So again, I'm going to preload all of the senders in this case. And again, I could have done this with a join, probably should have done this with a join. I'm going to preload all the messages, the sender ID, subject ID, etc. I'll load those up. And now I'm going to read through. I'm going to have the sending organizations and the senders. And I'm going to split the senders, and I'm going to have the sending organizations, and then I'm going to do a simple dictionary as I accumulate the sending organizations by splitting the person's name into @signs, and then based on the organization I accumulate it, and then I sort them, and I pull out the top 10 organizations, print those out, and now I'm going to produce break this down into months. And I'll show you what this looks like in a second. Let's go to the gline.js. So the month looks like this. Okay, so the month looks like that. So that's the first 7 characters of the date. So if we look at the date looks like that, and the month is the first 7 characters. And this is the data that I've got to give it. We'll clean that up in a second. That data will look better in a moment. Go back to gline.py, and so this is we're doing the key is a tuple, which is the month, and which organization that did it, and it's only in the top 10 organizations. And then we're going to do we're going to basically do a dictionary where the key is a tuple. And then we're going to sort it. Sort by key in this case, not by value. That's in the months is going to sort that. And then we're going to write all this data out into gline.js. So let's go ahead and run this. And again, this is just the data that has to be written in a way that the JavaScript can understand it. Python gline, Python 3, gline.py. Okay, so top 10 organizations. So now let's take a look at that JavaScript. So this is what it looks like. So it just so happens that you got to tell it these are the data points. These are the lines. So this is the year, the line for University of Michigan, gmail.com, swinsburg.com. So this first column is that line points, and the next line points. So all this code was to get the data in such a way that I could produce this JavaScript file, because if I look at gline.htm, I need that data in that particular format, and I've got all this stuff. I make a line chart and I draw it with this data. That data, I had to go read all the documentation on how to figure this stuff out, right? And that's the data that I'm going to use, and I had to figure this out, and I had to transform it and make it pretty. It took me quite a while to get this to work, and this is not a JavaScript class nor a how to visualize in D3, but basically we pulled all that stuff in, and here's the G line that came from the JavaScript, and then it makes an array to data table, and then that data table is what G line draws. So with no further ado, let's open gline.htm to show that data. So there you go. That's the Sakai developer participation from 2015 through 2005 through 2015, based on which organizations did the most commits in Sakai. And so I know that I haven't done this all this code full justice. There's a lot of code here. The fun is just to kind of run it and see it, and then when the time comes to come back and see the techniques that are used when you're trying to build your own visualization pipeline. So I hope that you found this useful. You know, this is a lot of code, hard to explain in 15-20 minutes, but I hope you take some time and look it over, and I hope you found all these videos. This is kind of the last walkthrough video for chapter 16 of the book, and so I hope that I will see you on the net.